It's another day in the motor house, and I think we're going to be starting, we'll say, episode 31. And when I finished up last time, I was kind of trying to figure out what's next. And it had been staring at me, and I wasn't paying attention, but this is what's next. This is the bonnet for the 7. It currently is upside down on saw horses, but there's a reason for that. You might notice that there's a rubber nose on it. And yes, it is a solid, and I'm going to tell you, a very heavy rubber nose. And that needs to come off. And a few other things done. The pivot, which are like a Europa. They're basically like Europa joints for the doors. I've got to get that. I had to cut it off to get the nose off last time. So I've got to get that all cleaned up. And let's get some more light on the subject here. And the anchors that are holding the rubber nose on all have to be taken off, and hopefully without breaking them. Yes, that's the important thing, not to break them. So, the question comes down to, and you might see where, let's see, you might see where this was changed right here. There's a story, and I'm just going to put it out as it's a story in some of the things I've read about the car. Originally, if you looked at the factory photo of the last one, you would have seen it had a fiberglass nose all the way. And very nicely done in the factory photo. So how did it end up with a rubber nose? Well, that's part of the story that I got. True or untrue, I cannot guarantee it, but I'll tell you what the story that I read, the rumor. When this was being shipped to the United States and going into the container, it happened to have been 4 inches too long to fit in the container. Oops. Well, that's the story. And so they cut the nose. And at some point, this ended up on it. Was it cut to go in the container? I can't guarantee it. It's just part of the stories of what's been told about the car. Consequently, heavy rubber nose on it. When it got into the United States and having to go through our safety protocols for cars that are going to be sold in the U.S., it needed a bumper. So this became the bumper. So whether it was actually the 4 inches were cut off and this became, we'll just mold a rubber piece onto it and that'll take the place. It was quicker and easier than to do the fiberglass work. I don't know. But I can say that the story is that this ended up being, oh, well, hey, we can use that as the bumper. So that's what I've read. Good, bad. It's just another interesting story about the car. So for future me, there's a clip here. And I would think, let me see if I can get the light on for this. And I would think that clip was to help align it when it went down. But there's not on the other side. And let's see if I don't know, hopefully it goes together. This is the washer line, which runs all the way, hopefully I'm showing this correctly, runs all the way up and around, because the washer bottle was up to the front for the nozzle, which is right here. Yeah. And this is the lock for holding this down. But this is interesting right here. No really good details as to what it was supposed to look like. There's something showing in the photo, in the factory photo, but nothing clear to figure it out. And the later cars all had catches on the sides. Well, we'll have to see. Yeah. Now to hopefully get the nuts to come off without breaking the bolts. I'm finding the best way to do this is clean the threads up with a brush, a wire brush first. Then I have thread cleaning sets. And I recommend definitely anybody who's going to be working on things that might have little corrosion on the threads, get yourself a set. It really does work. And these are quarter 20 threads. So I am cleaning the threads, run this down, which cleans the threads on the stud, and then I can unwind the nut with less chance of breaking the stud. And what's there is it's 2 fender washers with rubber in between. And the rubber's hard as it can be, but I wonder if that was a flex initially. Bit of a flexing. Look into that, but just a nice piece of rubber and with two washers. So continuing on, the rubber nose is now officially off. I was trying to get some more filming done as I was separating it from the body, from the fiberglass, but the battery died. So sorry about that. It came off it separated without too much trouble. That's a better way to put it. Now, one of the studs, which would be the middle one here. Let's see if we can get a good shot of that one. Well, there was rolling away. You can see it kind of was rusted away inside, and no matter what you do, it was going to break. So, it looks like they took bolts and just put them in the rubber mold, and that's what's inside the rubber. So what I did is after they were all out, I'm sitting here, I did clean up all the threads, took a wire brush to everything, and then ran a dye down each one to make sure the threads were clean. Some of them still looked a bit rounded off, so I wanted to make sure they were formed well. A new nut goes on very easily, and of course the rubber. Now some of these rubbers, they're thicker on one side, thinner on the other. Some of them are not. They were accounting for whatever angle this was for holding it, or maybe it was the angle of the stud. Don't know. So let me pick this thing back up here, flip it over to this side. Alright, I pulled off the badge, and I was trying to figure out with the badge, where is that thing I had? Okay, let me grab the badge. Okay, badge was on here, and it looks like all they did was maybe they heated up the studs and then just pressed them in, but that's all they were, was pressed in. And as I tried to pry it off, it was tending to grab the rubber. So I got it up enough, got a hacksaw blade under it, cut one side, then spun the other out, then went in with needle nose and unwound that one. So will it go back there? I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. So kind of think it should be in the fiberglass more than in the rubber nose there. But the nose is going to have to be refurbished in some way, and I'll talk to the body shop about that. But we are making progress on the front boot. I think I've taken everything off the bonnet that can come off now, so it'll be ready to accompany the body when the shop is ready to start the car. And there were two bolts, one on either side, and there's some kind of a captured nut in there. I'm just maybe it was part of the light. But we'll see in the future. But there were 2 nuts. This is the little bracket that was, I'll say it was pop riveted on. Basically, it was pop riveted on. It was like this. So it had a little rubber stop. But I haven't figured out what the rubber was for. Because if it was set in, we'll say like this. Yeah, it was set like this. So what was the rubber for? Don't know. Unless they had thought, or maybe there was a hinge rod and it went tucked into there as part of a hinge rod at one time. And if this was up in there, then the rod could have, just don't know. Just the pieces from the bonnet. I always bag everything up. Down at this end. Let's go. Now we get a good look at this end. Oh, and I'll get the light on. Okay. That's the hinge point for the front bonnet. I'll look at this side over here too. So basically it's a square bobbin, and it's like the Europa doors. There's a square bobbin in the top, square in the bobbin in the bottom, and it allows you to put the, let's say, the hinge in there, and because it's square, it allows you to move the hinge bolt mechanism around, and then the pin goes through the center of it. So the outer part is adjustable, and the actual hinge point is in the center. Of course, these were basically frozen shut. Let's see. Let's see, just turn it the right way. That's how it was in there. Pretty rusted. So there might need to be some reinforcing done around the bobbins. They look like they have some gaps around them from you looking from the inside. But we will approach that in the future when this is getting done. I think I'll get the new hinges in. That way I can make sure everything worked correctly before it goes to the body shop. And let's see, that on the car, let me stand up here. That, I don't know who put it on the car, but it basically says Lotus 7 Mark is missing a part, we'll say, but too fast, says too fast to race. I don't know who put that on there, but that's what it says there. Oh, it's not going back on the car. No. I'm not putting it back on the car. So for right now, I think that's it for the front bonnet, which is a nice place to end this small little video. So, what's next? That usually comes to be the question now. What's next? Thanks for watching.